I'm Dorothy Fraser of GoldenReadingsNow.com, and this is my book Love Planet, and I'm going to be talking about how it came into being. So the tools that I used for Love Planet were, I used these paintbrushes, lots of fun playing around with them, lots of paint hours there, and I used all the background is in watercolor. So I was using Montmartre, these paints, and these paints were the paints that I used for the backgrounds of the illustrations. And then I would, after I'd got my background sorted and the ideas, I would then be working with these pastels. Just bear with me for a moment while I feel here. Again, these were Mungo pastels. As you can see, they've had a good go. I've had a lot of fun playing around with those guys. And then I've used so the pastels were used on the kookaburra and the rosella, and then the background here of the map of the world, as well as on the tree. And then I was using these pastels. So I'd use the smaller ones as a quick, and these more detail with these ones, or for hire. I love using, this is my Schmink. It's a white. Schmink it's just, if I could do it on my hand, it just puts really soft, and it's one of the best whites for highlighting that I know of. So I always love to have Schmink in there. And then these are other very soft pastels to put in the beautiful colours and tones that I was looking for. And then for details, what I'd be using is these pastel pencils were what I'd be then using in my details. For the eye was all the eyes, that area there. Any very fine work, I'd be using the pastel pencils. So they're the beautiful art tools that I used to create my beautiful book. And then this was my my workbook for the book that I started on. So just a watercolor book. So the first image that came into being, I'll quickly show here. This is honouring the elements. So this was the kind of concepts that I got for that. To honour the elements. So that's just a rough sketch and the wording that came through. Then a picture. Always took photos to have for me. The idea of water lines, and then again the concept. So that's how this particular imagery came in for me. The initial sketch came in for me. And then this particular beautiful moment here is over here. Hold on, jumping over here for a moment. Oh, so this is the original drawings. So initially I've got of the cover. So this is the original part of the cover, there and there. And then I've traced on the map. I did a tracing of the map of the world, and I traced on there, of the North America, I should say. And with the kookaburra, I did like a quick sketch around the body in, it would have been the dark, lighter brown pastel, just to get that outline in. This was an organic kind of flow with the tree. That would have been done. And then I spent quite a bit of time doing that particular drawing on its own before it became part of this, as well as I would do the outline of the head and the body in a light pastel, and then spent quite a bit of time doing, these were both done in pastel, as well as this was done in pastel. And then they became the cover of the book. So when I did these individual drawings, I didn't know they were going to be a cover of the book. I just knew they were going to be in the book. I wasn't quite sure how they were going to be in the book. And then I decided that was to be the cover of Love Planet, about our beautiful planet and how we can love it more and more and more. So that's the cover, how the cover came into being. This really picture here, I'll just explain because it was fun. This was representing the sky, and how I painted this, I'd always sit outside in the garden or in nature doing my drawings. I'll just see, it's here somewhere to show you. Oh, I thought it was there somewhere. I have an illustration, a picture of me sitting with my cat painting. I always sat out in the garden painting with her, my beautiful cat Ruby. And what I did, I was asking, I always pray before I work. I always talk to the angels and the guides and the elemental beings and the nature beings, and I always intend that it's done with grace and ease. So I was asking that the sky came into being, because at the time, and it's still, I can develop as an artist more, and there's certain skills, those techniques I still haven't developed. So I prayed to the nature beings that I did the best sky and cloudy kind of vibe with grace and ease. And literally what I did is I had the brushes and I put a bit of watercolor that's usually phthalo blue, and then I literally got toilet paper to get the excess water off, the excess color off, and that's what created itself. So that's toilet paper that created that beautiful vision of the sky. It took me probably all of a whoosh of water and go, oh, it's too much. Tap, 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 tap. That might have been a 30-second painting for that to come out. So thank you, the great air spirit and sky spirit, for creating, and the toilet paper and the paint for creating that glory. I love it. Absolutely love it. So that's how that picture came into being. That was a lot of fun. It was like, oh, quick. That was quick. I love that. So there's the sky. And then I'd like to go on to showing you these ones. Is this one? Oh, that's the water one coming in. That's the ideas for the water and the earth there. They're those ones. They're the original ideas. I'm just trying to find. So this is when I'm in the national park. So how this picture came into being. First, this is the sun. I did probably about 8 pages of, I had like a circle there in the middle, and I just bled colours of blues and bits of pink and gold, and I probably did about 8, I think it was 8 all up, of this tone to get the one that I felt that worked the best, looked the best. Also, what I do with my paintings, I work with the Australian bush essences and flower essences, but also when I was in America, I made an essence from the national park in Yellowstone National Park, and at the Tetons, and at Ojo Caliente in the desert. And I also then made vibrational essence from the Royal National Park, where a lot of these images are created from, and I put those essences in the water, so that the essence of, there's 5 or 6 national parks in the essence of these paintings. I've also prayed that everyone that looks at these images or reads the books have a huge shift in consciousness for the betterment of themselves, this sacred earth, and our world and universal family. So may you have a huge shift in consciousness, so that you have greater love for yourself and greater love for this sacred earth, which is our home, our glorious, beautiful home, which we have come here to be the caretakers of. That's my beliefs and my understanding. So there's a lot of prayer and a lot of intention when I do my work, so that you get the betterment of it on a very strong energetic field. So this image here, the Grace of the Divine, was created. That's the sketch. They're the photos that I took to get that image, and then this is the original painting drawing. So I did the background at home, because it's the watercolors, and then I actually sat out on that beautiful cliff edge. Lucky me, and actually did all the pastel work, sitting out in nature, doing that. How blessed am I to be able to do that, hey? Lucky me. That's one of my favourite places in the national park. Then another, there's some more drawings. This is about our divine consciousness. So that's the quick image of that. And again, it's just watercolour with a little bit of pastel pencil on that one. I don't know if I saw that. Oof, here we go. See what else is going on there. Looking on the this is the the illustration for that. Again, it's watercolor with, and this is when we have negative thought, it creates polluted air. So it's about shifting our consciousness to the divine state, and then it's pastel in there for the more detail of that. And then with this beautiful being here, this page here, this is the original. And again, it's a watercolor with that pastel outline, pastel pencil done there for the detail. Okay, beauty beans. We'll go on that one. There's some more images. I've got some more images here. Here we go. It's a beautiful frog. Frog medicine. I'm not sure if I've got a sketch. I'll probably have a sketch here somewhere of that in my workbook. So I did work quite extensively with this book. As soon as I get an idea, I'd be out walking the bush, and the knowledge would come through. So I'd quickly come home and I'd write it, or I'd have a piece of paper and pencil with me, and I'd write down all the wording, put it in my book as soon as I got home, and then I'd start just do a really brief sketch. So I knew what to go back to. So this is the background. Again, it's a watercolor, and then that's in pastel. I did outline an image of a frog, and then pastel penciled it in. So that's the original of that. And there's lots of wording. There's a lot of the words that are for the book. This image here is one of my favourites. I was actually sitting on a cliff overlooking the ocean, and I could see 6 whales coming towards me, and I knew they were coming up, so I was watching for where they were coming up. And as the whales came up, like I was at cliff height and they were down low, as the whales came up, an eagle flew in front of me. So I had an eagle right in front of me, and then the 6 whales came up, and in their spray was rainbow. That was a moment in nature that I'll never, ever, ever forget. It's a glory moment. And that's what the book's about. Really honour what nature has for us, because it is such a gift. It's an immense gift from the divine past. And that's what this whole book's about. Loving this earth, which is our beautiful sacred home. So that's why I included this, because it was around the time I was working on the book that this beautiful magical moment happened in my life. So I actually traced the original sketch, just a really rough sketch on there, and went from there to create that beautiful image. Let's see if I've got the sketch. I've got it here somewhere. I did see it earlier when I was looking. Oh, there we go. So this is the original sketch of the next image in the book, and that's just in pencil, and then the wording, and then that's the drawing that I did to represent that image, about my greatest dream of us, when I can sit and telepathically fully communicate with the whales. I know then that we have awakened as a race, that we will then be consciously awake as a race. Yeehaw! And then everyone and everything will feel safe and loved and protected, and we will be glowing beings. Love that. So that was the original sketch. The idea came into being, and that was the original sketch. How it came in. All in watercolor and all in pastel. And with this one, This was I was sitting on that cliff again, overlooking the ocean. Sorry. And watching a whale, seeing a whale there, and then wondering what it's like when we project goodness out onto the planet, when we project joy, when we project blessings, what does that do? And then this whale just went jump, 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 because I was pouring out rays of light, rays of love, rays of blessings. So I want to include that knowledge in there for you to utilize it and understand. Some more. The golden nectar. Like them over there. So then we've got. I've got a lot of things here, but I want to just skip through to this one here. This is when I was in America at Yellowstone National Park. Oh, I left you out. And this was a message from the animals of Yellowstone National Park and from Yellowstone to humanity. To love, 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 love the beauty that's on this planet. To look for the beauty in every second of your existence. So that's this image. So I did like rough sketches, and then I would do again trace in the images, did the background quick, take them from photos, and then put the detail in with the pastel pencil. And then the original, I'm going to go straight here. This is the original Kookaburra one. So, and that did take me a while to do that drawing. I would have worked on that for a couple of hours to do that, whereas some of the other illustrations were quick. The ones on the cliff, you see on the cliff drawing, they might have taken me a day or two going back and going over it and going back and going over it. But this, I remember this was a couple of hours working on the Kookaburra. So that's that beautiful one. And then the back of my book is my favorite part. So again, a quick watercolor, and then traced in the map of Australia and tracing a hummingbird to represent America because I was over there. And my favorite part is down here. My beautiful cat stood on one of the paintings, and there's her beautiful paw mark. She's got a lot of blue there and a little bit of green on her pad. So Ruby is included in the back of the book there, right down there in this corner here, her paw mark. So she was with me the whole time. Every time I painted, my beautiful girl was there, supporting me and nurturing me and purring on me and walking on some of the paintings, and generally being there in her beauty and her glory, helping me. So Love Planet, that's how it was created. It was a lot of ideas from Spirit that Spirit asked me to hand through to humanity, pass on to humanity, how important the planet is, how important you are to the planet, and this planet is glory. It's our blessing from the divine, and that we are here to love it and nurture it and support it. We are the caretakers, and the more love we put out, the more blessings we put out. The nature beings tell me that they gather bits of filaments of our light, and they create a whole new color ray, a whole new plant species, and a whole new animal that's not here. That's what we're here for, to help the earth create more glory. So that's what Love Planet is about. If it's inspired you to do your own book, please get in there and get painting, and always talk to the higher energies because they'll support you. Or if it's inspired you to allow yourself to purchase the ebook, then please do, and know that it will help you raise your consciousness to a better state of being, a fuller state of being, so that you can bring more of your glory and your beauty and your magnificence to the planet. I look forward to seeing what you bring. You have a glory life. God bless now.